All right. Hey guys, welcome to week 2 of our May Mindset Masterclass. I am pumped. I don't know if you guys are, but I am pumped because the things that we're learning, the things I'm learning, and the things that we get to learn together are going to be the things that grow us in crazy ways. And I don't know about you guys, but I love being in a growth mindset. Like, always learning something new, excited about the next thing that I'm going to learn, right? Who else is with me? Anyone? How did you like the Mel audio so far? Any aha moments, conviction? Oh my word, I didn't know I had fears. So last week was Dan. This week is Heather. Some of you might be listening ahead, which is totally fine. I love to stick an earbud in when I'm exercising or driving, any of the things. So go ahead and put in the chat if you have any specific revelations you want to share. Feel free to put those in there. Also, I'd love for you to guys share a win for the week. I think it's important to celebrate the wins along the way. And I was talking to Justin about this today. I think sometimes so I've been enjoying, number one, I've been enjoying like reading through all of the emails you guys sent. Some of you I've messaged back via Marco Polo. Most of you I emailed back actually, or voice messaged. But number one, I just want to thank you guys. Proud of you for digging deep, for kind of evaluating like the root, evaluating like the baseline, the foundation. Actually, it's the foundation of everything that you're going to build, because your why, your strengths, your goals, your top fears, like all of those things are foundational for what you're going to build with Plexus. Okay, so number one, proud of you and thankful for you. But anyways, in all of the emails and the feedback I sent back, I just heard a lot of the same fear, which was interesting. Fear of failure. But one reason why I want you to put in the comments to celebrate a win is it's good to reflect and to think about your wins. It doesn't have to be some huge like mountaintop win. The little wins are what's going to help you get past that fear of failure. The small wins. It's like the small little things that you're doing every day. Honestly, the daily like income producing activity that you're doing, those are wins. You are building a foundation, and doing the thing is what's going to keep you motivated. Massive action is what's going to bring you success. And it's also going to squelch that whole fear of failure thing, because every day when you're doing the things, you're creating wins for yourself. So anyways, that's a little side note. I was on a call with Jessica Heffley last night, and I thought this was super cool. She said, my job isn't to change your life. She said, my job is to empower you to be self-aware. And that's kind of her big trump card, her big thing. And I feel like the farther I've gone into Plexus, the more that I see it. Because if we don't have self-awareness, and all that means is basically knowing who you are, knowing why and what you're doing, and kind of that red dot thing, like, here I am, where am I? Where am I at? Where am I at with everything? Because really the first step to either getting unstuck, so you may not be stuck, you may just be beginning. And so the key to pressing into more success, whichever pendulum, whichever side of the swing you're falling, the key to that is self-awareness. And I would say asking yourself questions, just like we, wrote in those emails a week ago. What is my goal? What is my why? Because really, those are the things that are going to fuel you. Those are the things that's going to wake you up in the morning and that's going to get you going, right? So some people, I actually sent questions back like, can you explain more to me about your why? Like, your why has to make you cry. It has to be so emotionally attached to you that it's like fire in your belly. I'm excited. Like, I'm passionate. I'm pumped, right? Because you have to explore what lights a fire in you, what sparks some little flame, right? And think about what adds value to you. So it's like, why are you making a post? Well, why are you reaching out? Because what do you love? Maybe for you, it's that you love time freedom. You want to help other people have time freedom. Maybe it's you want you love leadership. You want to grow in leadership. Maybe your passion is gut health and you're like, oh my word. Okay, that was me. That's what fueled me is I see that masses of people have gut health problems. And this is a very simplistic solution that thousands of people need. And I can be the messenger. I just have to be the mouthpiece. I don't have to be the expert. I just plug them into information and help them start, because we can only help people if we get them started. Some people love personal growth. Some people love the friendship aspect. The fact that, this opportunity is giving the options. It has to be more than pink drink, right? You have to go deeper and ask yourself the questions. You have to find your passion, right? Find what you're passionate about specifically in light of this opportunity. And this is the key. I mean, this is the key in anything, but knowing who you are, knowing why you're doing this, and knowing what you love. And that speaks volumes. Like that exudes out of you when you're talking to people in person, when you have an opportunity to share with a stranger, when you're on vacation and you're chatting with people that you have no idea who they are, but you've struck up a conversation, or it totally comes through when you're posting on Facebook, right? This was a quote from last night. It says, if it is your passion, it is inevitable that you will succeed. Passionate people are contagious. And also passion trumps strategy. So if you ever feel like you're not like super strategic, like you don't necessarily run off of a plan, maybe you don't have a like super set like structure throughout your day, totally fine. You can be successful. I mean, up to a point, you got to be organized enough. You have to be systematic enough. But really, passion trumps that. If you are excited, that's going to spill over to other people. I'm like, well, I don't know what she's doing, but I want to do it because she's super excited about it, right? And so we have to maintain that excitement and passionate level so that we're attracting people, right? You got to be excited. So anyways, I thought that was interesting. Did you guys listen to those two videos, my repeat videos, Jessica Heffley's Fear one and Lori's Comfort Zone? What did you guys think? Were those helpful? Does anyone want to unmute and like share a takeaway from that? Like I literally listened to that on repeat because I think my mindset was I had so much head trash. I had to get their perspective in me. Like, okay, I'm doing this for other people, not myself. Anyone want to pop on and share a revelation after listening to that?
I will.
Okay, awesome. Hey, Erin.
Hi, Megan. I don't remember, to be honest, what one it is. She was in her kitchen. I think it might be Lori. I think that was her name. She was talking about how she just shares because she needs to help people. And if she had not, like the repercussions of like 2 years ago, if she had not shared what all the thousands of lives that would have not been impacted. I thought that was pretty amazing to think that we have the power to change lives. I mean, I know it changed mine, and I know that I do have that fear of, am I bugging them? But what if this is changing their lives, if they didn't have any clue what it could do? And then same thing. I mean, I followed Amy Booker for 2 years before I signed on, and it changed my life. So why would I want to help somebody else? So I really appreciated that video.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Jessica, I remember her saying, you never know who is praying for a health answer or praying for a financial answer, and we have the answer. And like, I came to a point where I felt obligated. Like if I knew my friend Jody had IBS and wanted to stay home with her babies and I wasn't going to say anything to her, like I felt a moral obligation to say, Jody, as a friend, like I need to tell you about Plexus. Okay. My niece, the same way. There's other people. Yeah. I mean, there's so many people. And I think, what if I wouldn't have shared? Jody made, what did she tell me? In 2018, she surpassed her husband's income. Like, that was huge for their family, like financially. She's a senior gold on our team. And so I think we can't discount the fact that what we have is truly life-changing. I think sometimes we forget that. So we can't forget that. And also think forward to when people come back and thank you. I specifically remember thinking, like when I was doing my IP and I was reaching out and it was scary, and you feel like throwing up because it's uncomfortable and it's out of your comfort zone, and maybe you have never had that skill set or whatever. You haven't ever done that before. But think forward to when they're going to say, hey, Megan, thank you for sharing Plexus with me, because it's legit changed my life, or it's legit changed my husband's life, or it's changed our family's like legacy, because we're now a dual family and, you know, financial struggle type of thing. So we have to think forward in light of that. I did want to speak really quickly to, before I get into the meat of what we're going to talk about today, is the fear of failure. Justin popped on the call this morning, and he shared a couple of insights and specific stories of his fear. But he said, because there's so many emails that I got, and that's everyone's top, there's like the majority, their top fear is failure. Although it was interesting because Amy Booker, who's now an Emerald, she was saying her fear when she started was actually success. So it's interesting what people's fears are, or they have fear both. They fear success, but then they also fear failure. But what Justin was encouraging me to encourage you guys is to dig deeper than that and figure out why. Why are you scared of failing? What is actually the root behind that? Because he said, so he works with a business coach, and the coach helped him unveil what the true meaning behind his fear of failure was. And he realized his fear was actually commitment. He feared committing, because if he didn't commit, then he couldn't fail. But once you commit, then you're in. Like, I got to make this work, right? The other thing that we talked about this morning, or he talked about, was our love has to be greater than our fear. And I think it goes right along with what Lori shared in that video, because really when we think more about the other person instead of what we're afraid other people will say about us, it actually shows love. And it shows our willingness to forget ourselves and to care more about other people. And yeah, someone may say something goofy about your motives, or they may judge you. Who knows? But does it really matter at the end of the day? There's that scripture that says perfect love casts out fear. And so when we're fearing, we're not being made perfect in love, right? And there's also that scripture that says God's not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of sound mind. And a lot of times when we fear, we lose those other things. When we're stuck in fear, we lose our sound mind, we lose our power, we lose our love. And so anyways, side tangent, those scriptures just came to mind. And I remember when I started, Jessica was posting motivational stuff like, everything you've always wanted is on the other side of fear. And it really comes back to doing the hard thing, really, which is doing the scary thing, right? So I feel like the one thing that I have done over the course of my journey is, if I'm scared to do something, go do it. Go do it. Like, don't give it time, just act. And by doing that, you don't give it time, and you don't give it headspace. You don't give it time to fester and turn into this big monster, which it's really not a monster. It's like a shadow on the wall, right? And it's a little teeny tiny mouse or something that looks huge. Justin was reading the story of King David and Goliath. Y'all know that Old Testament Bible story. One thing that he was saying is that the Israelite army, was full of how many? I don't know, hundreds, thousands of men. And then there's this little shepherd boy who had basically had a series of small wins that gave him confidence to go actually and attack a giant and like verbally say to all these men, like, they were basically being cowards, the majority. And there's this one kid that's basically like, I'll go do it. I've killed a lion and a bear and all these things. But what struck me is like the majority is stuck in fear. The majority is like doesn't move, doesn't act because they're scared. They're fearful of something. They're fearful of whatever. And what David did, he probably was still fearful, but he went and acted like he was a man of action. And what I thought is like, be a David, like go do the thing. And then look at the repercussions, like, right? He ended up being a hero, and he ended up being king, like so many things. But it just struck me like the majority they're going to stay stuck. They're going to stay on the other side and not move and not do anything. But the Davids are going to go take action. And so I think that's the antidote to fear, honestly, is just take action. I remember before I started homeschooling my kids, I was so scared. Like, I was like, can I do that? I have 3 little kids. And so, but honestly, it was scarier. The anticipation of it was scarier than actually just doing it. Just me and my kids, like, we're learning. How scary could that be? I'm their mom. I love them, right? So I think it's like that one thing, like, until you just jump in and do, it seems scary, right? And so one thing that I had asked in those emails, or in the requirements or whatever, was, what is one thing that you're avoiding? So what's one thing in that you've been avoiding? You guys all have something that you're thinking of? Who's brave enough to either pipe up or put it in the chat thread? Have people on your mind sharing the business? Okay. Scary. Or something you're avoiding?
IPA.
IPA, okay. Income producing activities are something that we avoid. Bringing up plexus to someone in person. Yes. Liz, I love that. You shared the business, or sharing the business is something that you typically avoid or procrastinate on, but you did it today. You are a David. Awesome. David Liz Henry. we'll nickname you. Bringing up plexus to someone in person. Doing a live video. Yes. Okay. All right. So we're going to be Davids this week, y'all. I'm encouraging and actually challenging all of you to take one thing that you've been avoiding, resisting, or procrastinating on, and go do it. I had all those same fears too. Bringing up plexus to someone in person, I started making myself talk to people. I'm an introvert. My mom is like, talks to anyone and everyone. Like, growing up, like, I didn't have to engage anyone because she always did. It was awesome. I would just sit down and like learn about people and hear their stories on the elevator. It was awesome. So, but I've had to learn to like expend energy and actually engage the checkout lady. Engage, did I say this last week? I feel like I did. Engage the post office person. And it can be go listen to Sonia Dudley. I listened to her videos when I started, and I was like, oh my word, she's as sweet as pie. She's the Southern Belle. Like, okay, if she can talk to people, it's not that hard. You just start talking. So at the checkout at the store, like, sometimes I'm like, hey, has it been crazy today? I mean, just something. It doesn't have to be anything. And then you start a conversation. It doesn't have to be plexus. You can just practice and like engaging people, especially if you're kind of a keep to yourself. Those people will feel loved by you. I promise you. You may never ever see them again in your life, but you've blessed them, right? And that adds value to them, and it adds value to you. At the post office, I would engage people like, oh my word, I'm sending out plexus samples. Have you ever tried it? And then pass them a stick of Slim with their little business card stapled on it, right? I'm like, oh my word, you got to try it. Like, it's my mom fuel. It's helped me with you can just lift up a couple things. You don't have to be like crazy, but just to engage or say, hey, have you ever heard of plexus? Like, I just started this new business and it's like totally blessing my socks off. It's helping people with their gut health and helping them lose some weight. And I've just been shocked. So that was like totally out of my comfort zone, cold sweats, like, but I made myself go do that because I knew that it's like the next step of things that I needed to go make myself do because I was scared of doing that. So let me see what else y'all see. My family won't go to Walmart with me. My avoidance is consistency and schedule. I love your vulnerability. That's awesome. So yeah, so write down that one thing and your action plan. You can do it tonight. You can do it in the morning, but you don't give it time. Like, act quickly. Reaching out to distant friends, what Krista is saying. So yeah, make a list of those people and make yourself, before you go to bed tonight, before your head hits the pillow, message 3 of those people. And once you do, I want you to message the thread and we're going to celebrate those wins. Okay. That'll be awesome. Jacqueline's avoiding doing a live video. Do it in a private group first. That's how I started practicing live videos. It was so weird to me to see myself talk. Now it's weird to me to not see myself talk. But do it in like a private, if you have like a private Plexus group or whatever, it's a smaller group. It's not like open Facebook and you start all of a sudden see like your distant aunt relative person pop on. You're like, oh my word, what is she thinking? What is she saying? You already know that those people are slightly interested in Plexus anyways because they're in your group. And just go live. Like you can share your story. You could show them how to mix your pink drink. Like it can be super duper simple, but what you're doing is you're basically doing the thing that you are tending to avoid. Yeah, do it in front of your ambassadors. You're just practicing. You're engaging people. You're getting in front of them, and that's important for them to see you do that. So I saw something else. I feel like, regular posts about the business. Yes. How often should you do that? I would, honestly, you guys all wrote out your why this week. I would share your why and just reformulate that in a business post, like copy, paste, tweak a little bit, and share what you're doing and why. Because I promise you, your why is going to resonate with other people. When they see, oh my word, she's doing this because of this. Yes, you're going to be vulnerable. Yes, it will feel scary to post that. But I guarantee when you're more vulnerable and you're more like real in front of your Facebook people, they're going to love you more for that. And they're going to listen and like ears perk up because they're like, oh, like she really is meaning this. Like it's not just a copy and paste testimony tonight. It's actually like her reason why she's doing what she's doing, right? As for business posts, I mean, I would say 2 to 3 times a week, and definitely on Sunday nights. Like if you do a business post anytime, do it Sunday night because that's a super high traffic time for Facebook. And I would make them personal to you. I mean, it's always good to throw up, Abby Kappa and her mom testimony with her amazing story, whatever. Diamond documentaries. If you're like, don't have the bandwidth, you're like, oh my word, like I haven't posted business all week, go grab a diamond doc. Those are awesome. You should be listening to those on repeat because they're so belief building. But you can hashtag like teachers. Oh my word, Teachers Appreciation Week. Jill Renfro's was last week. It was awesome. She was a teacher. But that'll speak. I mean, those little videos are going to speak to different demographics. Okay, I'm kind of getting off on a tangent, but anyways, good stuff. Thank you guys for sharing those things. I think it's good to, that's one of the purposes of this call is to like be vulnerable and to really share from our heart, like, well, this is what I'm feeling, or this is what I'm struggling with, or this is the thing that I'm avoiding. Heck yeah, you can share mine. Yeah, there you can totally share to the public. Let's see. Okay, so the thing I wanted to talk about tonight, last week was clarity and basically knowing what you want and why. That's your fuel. That's what's going to be the foundation of everything that you build in Plexus. The topic for this week is the cloud. Okay, and so I envision, and this is actually, Tara Castaneda has a video on this, but it really spoke to me when she said this because you're basically growing. You're growing something, right? You're growing a team. You're growing a group of people that are interested in getting healthier. They're getting healthy, or they're interested in maybe financial health, whatever the reasons they're coming into and joining you. You're growing something. So it's like you have your little garden, right? And you basically have a cloud around your garden, around your business, what you're building. And that cloud is full and filled with what you're thinking and what you're speaking. And you're basically creating an environment in which your business will grow. And if you are surrounding your business with negativity, with self-depreciating thoughts, with tons of head trash, with kind of a victim mentality, things like, how come, no one wants to order, everyone's quitting, no one's responding to me, like all those things, that is going to basically like be a damper on what you're growing. Versus if you start thinking, well, it starts with how you think, because how you think influences how you act, and how you act, that affects your posture and your confidence, and it affects everything. Like your magneticism, is that a word? Like if people are drawn to you or not, how, like your positivity, the things that you're speaking over your business, like do you speak out in faith the things that you see, the things, future things that aren't even coming, that aren't even like reality yet? Because if you're not, you need to be. And that's just the main thing that I wanted to talk about tonight, because we have to shift. We have to get our mindset right. We have to get our thoughts right. And it's a battle. Have you guys listened to, is it Joyce Meyer's Battlefield of the Mind? That's one I need to listen to or read. Nancy DeMoss has another one called Lies Women Believe and the Truth That Sets Them Free. I mean, it's a basic like biblical like principle about taking your thoughts captive. We have to be on guard for the negative thoughts, the hey, I'm not good enough. Well, I'm probably just going to fail at this. Is it going to be another one of those things that I try and it doesn't pan out, right? We have to shift the verbiage. We have to shift what's going on in our mind, and we have to shift out what we're speaking. And so my encouragement is to speak out what your the way that you want your business to thrive. And we all want our businesses to thrive, right? And so saying things like, basically it's affirmations, using affirmations and afformations, which the basic difference is one's a statement and one's a question. When you ask yourself a question, you subconsciously start to think of answers, right? And so questions like, why are so many people messaging me to order? Ask your kids, ask your dog, tell your husband, oh my word, babe, so many people are messaging me to order this month. Like, it's crazy. So many people want to go silver on my team. My team is on the leaderboard. Oh my word. Like, how crazy is that? The things that you have to get excited, right? Things like speaking out your next rank. And I'll tell a story really quick. Justin was coaching a friend of ours, like at the kitchen table a couple weeks ago. Okay, I'm just going to use Lori, for example. Okay, so Lori's sitting at the kitchen table. Justin's talking with her, asking questions, and they're like mapping out her next rank up. And he's like, okay, so question for you. When I say Lori might sell Ruby Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide, what comes to mind? And she got like tears in her eyes and she started crying and she's like, impossible. And that was like, he's like, okay, that's it. If you don't believe in yourself, it's not happening. You have to own that first before it can ever come to fruition. You have to see yourself. You have to, like when you're running a race, have any of you ever run a 5K or a marathon or done any sports, anything? People that are, or let's say Olympic stars, like the top of the top. Those people, I would say a huge percentage, if not all of them, have seen themselves passing people and finishing first and carrying the trophy. Like they visualized that before it actually was reality. And so so this week, what I really want you guys to really consider is what you're saying and what you're thinking about your business. And if you realize that your thoughts are negative and the things that you're saying about your business, you're complaining, you're venting to whoever, which I'm not saying there isn't time to do that. It's okay sometimes. But if that's the majority of what you're saying, you're basically going to create an unhealthy environment for your business to thrive. And so it's kind of like that verse that says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. And so what's in our heart, what's in our mind, we have to get that right first. And then from there, we have the fertile soil in which to grow our team, in which to grow this thing, right? So we have to think big first before we can act big. And so let's see, let me read my notes real quick. The more you can address subconscious fears and negativity, the quicker you'll be successful. Okay, so I don't remember if I wrote down hang on, gotta get my notes. I think I wrote down I did this morning, the assignments. So the homework is actually fun. It's gonna be super fun. So do y'all have a theme song? Do you guys know how powerful music is? Music is super powerful. Do you ever put on music and like, you wanna go run 5 miles, or you wanna go dance with your kids, or you wanna go jump on the tramp? Like, music can totally fuel you. And so I want you guys to pick a theme song for this month. It can be your rank up theme song. It could be whatever goal you have, whatever like lights your fire to get you passionate and excited and in the mode for doing your Plexus work. Okay, so I want you to pick out that song. I want you to listen to it before you sit down to do your work. Even if you're in the car and you're like doing your IPAs and the pickup line for your kids, you're listening to the song. Okay. The second thing, I want you guys to make your next rank up graphic. You have to be able to see yourself as the next rank. Okay. Caroline, I see Caroline. She just went gold. So now Caroline is going to be making her senior gold rank up graphic because she's thinking forward. She's thinking big. Because that's going to help her action be big, right? It's going to help align those things. I want you to write down your name and your rank. It could be on your whiteboard. It could be on your bathroom mirror. Whatever you look at every day. I want you to write that down. And I also want you to say it because once you start verbalizing, you actually start believing it. And that influences your action. Okay, I feel like I beat a dead horse with that. But there is a tool. It's actually an app on your phone. It's called Repeat It Again app. I need to re-download it to this new phone. But Jessica Heffley had us do that. And basically you record yourself saying different affirmations. If you need help knowing like what affirmations to use or what to say, feel free to like ask. But I did the Repeat It Again app and was saying like, Megan Goff, Sapphire Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide, or I don't remember exactly what I said. Maybe it was Megan Goff, or I am a Sapphire Ambassador. My team is full of leaders. I don't even remember what all it was. I wish I had the recording now because I was speaking things out before it was truly reality. Okay. I probably had, I don't remember. But anyways, I didn't have Jules on my team. I didn't have Rubies. I mean, we were still a baby team at that time. I was totally fine. Like everyone was growing and we were excited, but I was speaking things out because it was helping me think forward. So I want you to download that app and I want you to record yourself telling yourself affirmations or asking questions. Emily Gibson is big on that. That one question, why are so many people messaging me to order? Okay, so it only is going to be helpful if you actually use it. So you have to record yourself and then you have to listen to it. And your kids will crack up. They'll totally crack up. Mine did. I'm like, Mom, let's make some other funny ones. So, okay. And then Heather is this week on Mel's audio. And so I'm excited. We'll use that chat thread on Facebook Messenger as you get revelations or you start having realizations, feel free to post in there. I feel like it's really valuable to process those things together. And then doing the one thing that you've been avoiding and then post in that thread. That way we can win or celebrate the wins together. And then I also wanted to say, how are y'all doing on the Doe app? Did you guys do the 100 reach out last week? Some of you, all of you, some of you are still working on it. If you did not do the 100 reach out, there's no reason why you can't go back and do it this week and just work through that. Mary Cameron did 100 reach outs. Way to go, Mary. Did you message me or was that Krista? One of them messaged me and said, I felt like I was going to throw up. I completed my 25 though. She did the scary thing. Caitlin did 100, 200 on Sunday. Whoa, Liz. Yeah, Mary, that was her. So it comes down to numbers. At some level, people are not numbers. So don't think I said that. But basically, you have to reach out to a lot of people because not everyone's going to be ready at the same time. But you initiating that conversation is going to create a conversation down the road, or they're going to connect you with a friend of theirs that has an issue. Or they're going to be saying, or they'll say, yeah, I actually meant to message you because I've been watching your posts. So I remember Jessica Heffley saying she would only be half as successful if she waited for people to come to her. And I would say, I don't even know if I would be half as successful. I've done a lot of initiating and not just posting. I would say actually directly messaging people and saying, hey, this may or may not be for you, but Plexus is blessing our family so much. It's helped our gut health. It's helped eczema, different things. And I am super excited to be able to share it with people. And I was just curious if you'd be open to learning a little bit more about it. Or, hey, if I sent you over a video, would you check it out real quick? Just something. It does not have to be like a big, long and drawn out thing. This week, I always feel like it's almost easier to send out little invites. So this Thursday, it's not just a guy event, but the guys are going to share their health and business, what it's done for their families. Different people will be sharing different facets of how it's blessed their families. But send out 100 invites to that, because you never know who it's going to speak to, right? So that's my encouragement there, is to just kind of buckle up and do it, and tell me in 3 months what kind of fruit you get from that. So, all right. This morning, my sister popped in. We're playing for my cousin's wedding this weekend, so we had a string quartet rehearsal and we had to run. But I wanted to stay on because I feel like I always feel like it's so valuable to hear from you all. Some realizations that you're having, or any particular questions. I would still say Dough app is so helpful. Do any of you feel like it's relieving brain space big time to be able to have that handed to you? You can download your back office into there too. So customer follow-up, ambassador follow-up, huge. All right, who wants to share something, like a question? Okay, Liz has a question or a comment.
So one of the things that I have a problem with, and I've noticed it even more with the Dough app, is I really don't feel comfortable messaging guys. I just feel funny about that. I don't want anybody to get the wrong impression. I don't want to dishonor my marriage. It's not something that my husband's like, you can't message guys, but I just don't feel comfortable doing it. How do you guys handle that? Because then I'll get this list on Dough, and I'm like, skip. And the same guys come up again, and I'm like, no, those are dudes. I'm not messaging the dudes. And it's like, I mean, I don't know. He's technically an ambassador, but I can't get him to, because otherwise I'd be like, hey, honey, message these guys. But it's not, but he's not really. He's only an ambassador because I wanted a cheaper welcome pack when they were on sale. That's real. Yeah. So how do you guys handle that?
Well, we both message people. We both reach out to people regardless of their gender. I would say, for me, it kind of depends on who it is. Like, I'm trying to think. Like, I've messaged some people from high school, and you could frame it as, hey, I don't know if you or your wife would be interested, but I'm super excited with this Plexus opportunity. And I guess you're not doing it with your husband, so you wouldn't say we, but you could just say, hey, I was interested if you or your wife would be at all interested in learning more about Plexus. I know Justin does. It's kind of a women, I shouldn't say it's a women business, but there's a lot of women that do this business. So we just know that business is business. That's kind of how we view it. So, there's a lot of Instagram people that he connects with. I don't have a huge men following. I feel like my network is mainly moms, homeschool moms. But yeah, there have been people I've just been like, you know what, that's what my IPA is for today. I'm just sending out mass messages. I'm not really giving it much thought. I kind of feel like it's only weird if we make it weird. So I don't know, but other people might have a different opinion or a different conviction, and I think that's totally fine. So if you feel like you need to skip the men, or maybe it's just a different way of framing it, like where you say, and if you have no idea who these guys are, then that might also, make a difference too. Caroline said, what would you say if a guy approached you and said they wanted to purchase? Yeah, I would. I'd get them signed up. We have guys and girls. Justin always offers. He's like, hey, Megan would be totally happy to chat with you, because sometimes he's like, sometimes girls don't want to talk about like health stuff with him, so he'll just connect them with me, and then I chat with them. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a huge percentage of men product users, or usually if the guys are product users, it's because their wives got them on. So yeah. And you can kind of tell if the person is creepy, then I just block them. But Instagram is different than Facebook. Facebook is like people that we know, you know. And sometimes people really, I mean, there's as many guys that have health issues than girls, you know, but sometimes they don't always say, like, I have gut health problems. I have toenail fungus. But yeah, great question. The guy event is, you can post that graphic. Jill, see that? The happy half hour thing? You can post it to Facebook. And I mean, I think that that would speak to men if you have some men that have expressed interest, because then you can just plug them into that and be like, oh my word, we have a guy event. Or not, it's not a guy event, but we have guys talking on Thursday.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So I'm new. This is my 5th week on the products. And I just wonder, how do you pace yourself? Because I've gone through about half of my friends list already. And, you know, I really want this to be a business, and, you know, I have really big goals. But I just wonder, is there such a thing as doing too much now? And how, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think I understand what you're saying. Well, how many friends do you have on Facebook?
About 400.
Okay, so a good threshold is 500. So when I started, I had a very like small Facebook account because I didn't want it big. I wanted it small because it was like friends and family, and I blogged before I did Facebook, and so it was kind of a easier way than blogging, basically, just to connect with the aunties and grandmas and stuff. Then when I started Plexus, I was like, whoa, I'm going to kind of have to expand my network here if I'm going to share with more people. And so I started friending people like relatives and people that I just hadn't friended on Facebook, but we were still friends, or I was connected with them in some way. So, and then there's always that list of friends you may know, or friends of friends type of thing. And if they looked like safe people, like it was a mom with kids, and then I would friend them. So I expanded my friends list that way. But there is no such thing as like going too fast too soon, in my opinion. There's a video that you might be interested in watching by Eric Worre. He is a network marketing business coach, and he's been super, super successful. But there's a phenomenon called Success Loves Speed. And he has a video called How to Recruit 20 in 30 Days. And it's basically this idea that when you start, you basically have to get enough momentum to get the airplane off the ground. So the more people you contact, the more people you can help get started. So if you can get 20 people in a short period of time, that creates this phenomenon, success low speed, with where the faster you go, the more people you get on your team quicker, the more energy you have, the more momentum you have. And that's when, from my experience, that's when business builders have cropped up in my business, because that's basically what happened. So I dabbled my way. It took me several months, dabbled my way to silver. And as soon as I went silver, I was like, game on. I got to get to gold, and I really want to get to emerald. Like, how do I do that? And how do I do it as fast as possible? And so what we did is I put 20 people under me as quickly as I could. And then I signed him up right before I went gold. Like, he helped me go gold. Gold is 20 people. So I got 20 people under me, and then as fast as we could. At that point, he was like kind of chatting with people and referring people to me. He's like, I don't know, go talk to Megan, she'll sign you up. So then we put 20 under him. And then basically our legs grew kind of parallel, a little bit kind of parallel. And there was business builders that ended up popping up under both sharers, I would say. I don't know that they viewed themselves as business builders at that point, but that's what they've turned into being. It's kind of like this organic, accidental, sharing thing that happened. But it goes back to like understanding that. It goes back to what Eric taught in that video. Basically, if you feel stuck in your business, go do the 20 and 30 days thing. I did that 3 times over the course of my business. So far, I've done it 3 times. I haven't succeeded in even adding that many people. I think maybe one time I got close, personally sponsoring that many people. But even setting the intention to go basically recruit a new team was the best things that have happened to my business. And that's when every time that I did that, that's when business builders popped up. And some of them popped up during that time, but they had already been on my team. They were just wholesale people that ended up, for whatever reason, catching the vision and running with it. And, really, really hugely growing my team quickly. So I don't know if that answered your question, but it might be helpful to go listen to that video.
And
I was just going to add, Megan, for her, the same thing that you said with, is like the first thing I tell people who join my team is like, okay, how many friends do you have on Facebook, right? And always, so if you have 400, your next goal is 500, but then your next goal is 1,000. So you have to be adding new friends on Facebook every day. Like even when my business is on pause, my Facebook activity and looking for new friends on Facebook is never on pause. There's some things, like the work of Plexus takes a lot of brain space and a lot of energy. So like if you message 200 people already, you've been doing a lot of work already. So good job, really great job doing that. And I know like you're feeling, I know because my teammates feel this way. I've already talked to all of my friends, right? So then they feel like, what else can I do? They've already all either ignored me or said no, or maybe they tried it and then they quit. If they only have 350 friends, well, then they feel like they're done and they're stuck. But you should never put your Facebook activity posting daily, ever pause that, and never pause adding new connections in person and on Facebook. Grow your friends list to at least 1,000.
Mm-hmm. And those people that you initially contacted, like right when you started, you can go follow up with those people and invite them to something, like maybe this online testimony time on Thursday. So it's multiple touches over a period of time that helps people.
So adding to that, how do you expand? So when I reach those 400, and I have been adding people, that I kind of already know, but I mean, do you add people that you don't know? How do you expand? Yeah.
I mean, you can find, there's a lot of different Facebook groups. You can find some groups where you have common interests and interact in those groups consistently and like create friendships, obviously online friendships. You can, friends of friends. I mean, if you're posting consistently and adding value to people, it shouldn't all be Plexus actually. But like just sharing your story, sharing tips, whatever they are, whatever your interests are, sharing those things, you're going to build credibility and you're going to build influence with the people that are your friends, whether you know them in person or not.
Okay, thank you.
So Facebook groups, definitely friends of friends. And then I don't remember what video 4 years ago, I watched, but you just have to get out of the house more. You have to. You've got to get dressed, get the kids dressed, go out of the house, go to the park, go to the library, go to I've done Toastmasters, a new homeschool group. Megan, I don't know if it was intentional for Plexus or not, but Megan went to Bible Study Fellowship for a year. The next year I went to Bible Study Fellowship in a different area for a year. It's something I wanted to do anyway, and it was good for us, but it was also to grow my network, right? It doesn't have to be one or the other.
Right.
It can be both. Like Justin is breaking into the triathlon market, and they're going to the gym and they're taking their kids to swim lessons. Those are all totally new areas. They didn't know those people before, right, Megan?
Mm-hmm.
Like in sitting down at a wedding, instead of sitting down at the wedding with the friends that you already know that are there, you sit down with strangers and you connect.
Mm-hmm.
And she's gotten like 2 huge business builders by just doing that. Just go to weddings and birthday parties. You have to get kind of out of your comfort zone. Moms groups, like the birthday parties that you're like, I'm not going to do that. Now you say, yes, I'm going to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
I had a weird viral post that got shared over 6,000 times. And so all these people started sending me friend requests. And at first I was like, okay, I'm trying to build a business anyway. And then some of them were kind of weird. So then I started screening through them and being like, okay, do we have similar interests? Are we good? but I ended up with over 1,000 friends. And some of them, I really like them. Like, I don't know them. They're from Canada. They're from random places. And I'm like, I don't know who, but they've added value to my life. I've added value to their life. And it's been pretty cool, but it was like this weird thing. And it was literally just a picture that was like, post in the comments how we met in a GIF form, like those little pictures. And then people thought that was cool and they shared it and everybody's commenting on there. And I don't know, because I originally posted it, they were like, oh, I must know her or something. So they would friend me. But also, like Wendy was saying, yeah, get out of your normal circles and move in other circles. Like this weekend, I got certified to be a fitness instructor for a new format. And so there's a whole Facebook page of people that do this class. So now I'm part of that Facebook page. And then I'm going to try to find places to go out and teach Rumble, which is like a mixed martial arts thing. I get to use a weapon and it's really fun and get all your anxiety, like all your frustrations out and everything. So I'm thinking that is a good way to expand my network and also add on there, hey, this is like, it's another branch of fitness that I'm working in. So those are some things that I've done. But yeah, the one thing was like a unicorn. It just sort of happened. I just shared that. I thought it was cool. And apparently about 6,500 other people thought it was cool too, because they shared it. And it was
That's awesome. You're famous, Liz.
Not really. And none of them have joined my team yet. So we'll see.
Okay, so Celia had a question about the business post. Do you mean explicitly advertising Plexus? Yeah, I would share the business and share why you're doing what you're doing and what it's doing for people. People only know what we share with them. So that's why it's really important, one, to have clarity, and two, to know why you're sharing what it's doing for your family. People want to see tangible things that it's paying for and specifics. So anyways, yes, I would say definitely. I think being passionate and specific, like you have to be so specific. I mean, maybe is sometimes where it's okay to post a vague post, but I'd say just throw it out there. Sometimes the craziest posts get the most interaction. So, all right, guys, I got to go. I have another call. Thank you for being on, and I will post the homework in the thread. All right, have a great week, guys. Bye.